Welcome, deep divers. So let's talk about English listening. You follow your teacher perfectly, their videos are super clear. But then maybe you put on a movie or you're trying to follow a conversation with a few people.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's like hitting a wall, right? You get
Yeah.
maybe 80–90% of one person, but others, it just doesn't click the same way. Leaves you feeling a bit lost. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, absolutely. It's a really common frustration, that gap, between let's say, the classroom English and the messy real world English.
Yeah.
It's a big hurdle.
Right.
So our mission today is really to dive into that. We've looked at a bunch of expert sources, and we want to pull out some, practical strategies, some key mindset shifts to help you bridge that gap.
Okay.
We're aiming for real confidence in listening because, honestly, good communication, it depends just as much on understanding what you hear as it does on speaking.
That's spot on. And when people struggle, what are those common worries? I hear things like, everyone talks too fast.
Yeah.
Or I can't understand the accent.
Mm.
And that pressure, to catch every single word, the slang, the linking sounds, contractions.
Yeah, all that connected speech.
Exactly. Spoken English just sounds so different from what you see written down sometimes.
It's a whole different animal. And understanding why it's challenging is like the first step.
Yeah.
What's really interesting, and this comes up in cognitive linguistics research, is that the stress itself, the anxiety, thinking, why can't I get this? Or they're too fast, that actually eats up brain power.
Really?
Yeah. Studies show that kind of anxiety can actually hijack resources in your prefrontal cortex, which you need for processing the language. So if you're busy worrying, you just can't listen effectively.
Wow.
And another big thing, are you trying to translate everything in your head, like back into your native language as you listen?
Oh, yeah. I bet a lot of people do that.
It's incredibly demanding. Think about professional interpreters. They work in shrink bursts because it's so intense. Trying to do that while just listening, it stops you from actually concentrating on the English you're hearing.
Okay, so if worrying makes it worse, then the advice is counterintuitively to relax.
Exactly. Relax.
It sounds easy, but how do you do that? Like, if I hear Portuguese, I don't know Portuguese, I don't stress because I don't expect to understand.
Right.
How do we get that calm acceptance with English?
It's about realizing you don't need every single word to get the meaning. Seriously, context is key.
Okay.
If you can see the person, look at their body language, their face, listen to their tone, even just audio, the situation tells you a lot. Like you're at an airport check-in, you hear aisle seat or window seat. Maybe aisle is new.
Yeah.
But window seat, you know where you are. You can figure it out, right?
That makes sense.
Or if you hear, like, have you rum hambiesam jiam online at the airport? Your brain automatically thinks, okay, travel context, probably checked in or checked your bag. The goal isn't perfect word-for-word translation. It's getting the meaning, the gist.
Yeah.
That's a huge mental shift.
Focusing on the meaning, not perfection. I like that. So, okay, mindset shift in progress. Where do we start with actually practicing listening actively? What's step one?
Okay, so we can break it down into, say, a 5-step plan. And the foundation, step 1, is find content you're interested in.
Right, something you actually like.
Exactly. It's not just about fun, though. It helps your brain. If you listen to English stuff about topics you already know well in your own language, you've already got the concepts, the ideas, maybe some vocabulary in your head, it makes it way easier for your brain to connect the new English words to what you already know. It sort of gives your brain hooks to hang the new language on.
Okay, that makes sense. Leverage what you already know.
Yeah.
So I found my interesting podcast or video. What's step 2? Just listen.
Step 2 is listen and mark unclear timestamps. So you listen through, but don't stop every time you miss something. Just quickly note down the time, like 1.32, 3.05, where you felt lost.
Of times, not trying to write the words.
Exactly. Just jotting down the times. It keeps you in the flow of listening, getting the overall exposure without getting bogged down.
Okay, less pressure that way. Got my timestamps. Step 3, now the dictionary.
Not quite yet. Step 3 is revisit timestamps, listen, and guess. Go back only to those spots you marked. Listen again, maybe a couple of times, and try to guess what they're saying.
Active guessing.
Yes. You'd be surprised. Like, you might hear something that sounds like preek, but realize, oh, context, it must be prerequisite.
Right.
Or maybe on clad knife. Sounds weird, but maybe the person sounds happy. On cloud 9.
Okay, so you're using context and sound.
Exactly. Or back on D-Day becomes back in the day, meaning a long time ago. Call fiber might be all-nighter. Sunked mic could be zonked, meaning really tired.
Gotcha. Those are tricky.
They are. This guessing part trains your ear, and if you're still stuck after trying, then maybe look at a transcript or ask a tutor.
Okay, identify, revisit, guess. What helps lock it in?
Yeah.
Step 4.
Step 4. Figure out the context. This is crucial. Listen to the bits just before and just after that tricky part. Think about the whole topic.
Right, zoom out a bit.
Yeah, like that back in the day example. Say it was at timestamp 4.11. If the whole section before, from 3.3 to 4.4, was about, say, new gadgets, and then right after 4.11, they start talking about their childhood, well then, back in the day clearly means in the past.
Okay. The surrounding information gives clues.
Big clues. It helps your brain piece it all together, even if some words were fuzzy.
And then the final step to really make it stick.
Step 5. Listen one more time for solidification. Listen to the whole thing again from start to finish.
The whole program.
Yep. Now, those parts that were unclear should make more sense. It confirms your understanding, builds confidence, and gives your brain one last pass to really internalize it.
Okay, that 5-step process feels like a really solid way to practice. Find interesting stuff, timestamp problems, revisit and guess, use context, then listen again.
Exactly. It's a structured approach to active listening.
So once you've got that down, are there ways to, like, level up? More advanced techniques to really boost listening skills?
Oh, absolutely. Once the foundation is there, you can add layers. First big one, study pronunciation of natural English.
Not just individual sounds.
No, go deeper. Focus on how English really sounds when people talk naturally. Contractions, obviously, like what I wanna for what do you want to do?
Right.
But also reduced forms, go, gonna, wanna. Sentence stress, how emphasizing different words changes the meaning. Intonation, the music of the language, sounds blend together, they change. Sometimes they disappear completely in fast speech. Learning to expect and recognize these things is huge for understanding real conversation.
That makes total sense. It bridges the gap between textbook and real life.
Yeah.
What else?
Another really powerful technique is reading and listening together.
Using transcripts.
Yeah. Things at TED Talks are great for this because they often have those interactive transcripts. You follow along reading while you listen. It directly connects the sound to the written word. Helps with vocab, you hear natural pronunciation, rhythm. You can even try shadowing, imitating the speaker. It hits multiple senses.
Nice. So using visuals, like text, helps. What about the variety of what we listen to? Does that matter much?
Oh, massively. You need to listen to a wide variety of voices, accents, and contexts.
Don't just stick to one accent.
Definitely not. If you only listen to, say, standard American English from your course book, you'll struggle when you hear someone from Scotland or Australia or South Africa.
Yeah.
So seek out different accents, UK regions, other countries, and importantly, listen to non-native speakers too. A lot of English conversation globally is between non-native speakers, right?
That's a really good point.
And vary the context. Listen with background noise sometimes. Try group chats versus one-on-one. Basically, if it feels too easy, too comfortable, that's your signal to find something a bit more challenging. Push the edges of your comfort zone.
Okay, keep mixing it up. Now, what about a really focused exercise, like for those super tricky bits, the linking sounds, the dropped words?
Yeah, for that kind of precision work, the write what you hear method is excellent.
How does that work?
You take a really short clip, maybe just 30 seconds of audio. Listen a couple of times first. Just get the feel for the voice, the speed, the topic.
Okay.
Then listen sentence by sentence, pausing it, and write down exactly what you think you hear. Don't worry if you miss things. Leave gaps. You can even slow the audio down if the platform allows, like on YouTube or Audible. Then listen again to the whole short clip. Use the words you did catch to try and fill in the gaps.
Like detective work for your ears.
Pretty much. Its value is that it shows you exactly what you're missing. Those gaps become your specific learning points. It's very targeted.
I can see how that would be powerful.
Yeah.
What about using TV shows or movies with the visual element?
Yes. Watch without subtitles. This is great for building real-world confidence. Pick a show you like, watch just a minute or two, no subtitles.
Okay, turn them off.
Yep. Then pause. Jot down what you understood, maybe just the main idea, a character's feeling, a key phrase. Then
turn on the subtitles.
Turn on the English subtitles for that same minute. Check how well you did. It gets you used to relying just on your ears and the visuals, like in real life, you know?
Right. No subtitles floating under people's chins in meetings.
Exactly.
These are great techniques for focused practice. But how do we make listening improvement part of our, daily life? building sustainable habits seems key.
It absolutely is. Consistency is everything. And a core habit is combining reading and listening regularly.
You mentioned that with transcripts.
Yeah, but more broadly, too.
Right.
Reading builds your vocabulary, your understanding of structure. Listening trains your ear to the sounds and flow. Input, input, input.
So keep feeding the brain both ways.
Right, and when you hit something really tough, don't just listen once. Listen, then read the transcript, look up words you don't know, maybe review those words, read it again, then listen again. That cycle helps turn noise into language.
Okay, that makes sense. A learning loop. What about listening to the same thing over and over? Is that good or bad?
It's about balance, repetition, and novelty. Listening to the exact same short thing like 10 times in a row, your brain kind of tunes out after a while, diminishing returns. So listen a few times, maybe get what you can from it, then move on to something new. But
You can come back to it later.
the balance keeps it fresh, but also allows for deeper recognition over time as your skills grow.
Okay, mix it up. But revisiting is okay too.
Yeah.
How do we make this a practical daily thing? Life gets busy.
Keep it simple. A practical daily plan needs just 2 rules, really. 1, do something every day, even 10 or 20 minutes counts. Consistency is better than 1 long session a week.
Okay, small steps daily.
2, do something different every day for variety. Remember the accents, voices, formats. So maybe your week looks like Monday, listen to some songs. Tuesday, an American podcast. Wednesday, watch a bit of a UK TV show. Thursday, do a listening exercise from a book. Friday, catch a news broadcast. Saturday, an old movie. Sunday, maybe call a friend and chat in English.
Wow, that ensures a real mix.
Exactly.
And finding that sweet spot, not too hard, not too easy.
Crucial, choosing the right level.
Yeah.
Aim for stuff where you understand, say, between 50% and 90% on the first listen.
50 to 90%.
Yeah. Less than 50%, it's probably just frustrating. More than 90%, it's not really pushing you.
Right.
That middle ground is where the growth happens.
Okay, and the hardest part sometimes, actually doing it.
Yes. Stick to the plan. Best way, write it down, your weekly plan. Put it somewhere you'll see it, fridge door, wall by your desk.
Make it visible.
And check off each day as you do it. Sounds simple, but seeing that progress, those check marks, really helps with motivation and building the habit.
That's a ton of really practical advice. And, talking about listening really closely, it reminds me of this funny story about my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my mom, she's lovely, but short, and a real, well, we call her a spitfire. Quick to react, assertive.
I know the type.
So when I was a teenager, typical argument, I get into my room. And as I'm walking away just fuming, I did that thing where you suck your teeth.
Oh, yeah, that little sound of irritation.
Exactly. Super quiet. I barely heard it myself. But I swear, before I even got up the stairs, I hear her voice yell from the kitchen downstairs, "You better not suck your teeth."
Whoa!
Oh.
Seriously, the fear. How could you possibly have heard that? From the kitchen, it was impossible. But she did. It left this lasting impression, like my mom can hear everything.
That's amazing. Talk about intense listening. Or maybe just parental superpowers.
Maybe a bit of both, but it definitely highlights how tuned in people can be sometimes.
That's a great story and a perfect, maybe slightly scary example of deep listening. So deep divers, as we wrap this up, the key takeaway is really that improving English listening, it's a journey, right? It takes patience, lots of different kinds of input, and really consistent active practice. But using these steps, these mindset shifts we talked about, you really can boost your understanding and your confidence.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. We know there are more non-native English speakers in the world now than native ones.
Right.
So how might actively seeking out and listening to lots of different non-native accents, from all over the world, how might that actually speed up your overall understanding and make you a better global communicator, maybe even more so than just sticking to native accents?
Interesting question. Expanding the definition of what English sounds like.
Exactly. Something to think about. For now, just pick 1 or 2 of the techniques we discussed. Try them out this week. You can definitely make progress. You've got this.